Hello, good morning, and welcome back to the fish locker out on the coast. Now, I've picked up a weary northern traveller. We're showing him some of the best of what Cornwall has got to offer. Early morning, we're out on the coast. Here he is yomping up behind me.
Hello!
Look at this down here for clarity. It's Paul Hayes from Hayes Outdoors.
Hi guys, hi. Hi. Look at this.
Now, Paul will probably give you some wonderful bushcrafting lessons about all the wonderful edibles that you can find. People who've watched my channel before, we've bumped up into him once or twice. I usually bleat out much of what he says because it's usually expletives.
Look where he's brought me.
Bring him to all the best places to do, really.
This is the best place.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, get a shot me on here looking all regal, trying not to fall.
This will just be for insurance company when you tumble down it. These here, you can see all across.
They're bluebells, mate.
Yeah, the white ones.
Yeah, they're just bluebells that come white, yeah.
Three-cornered leek, allium. That's an invasive species. But it's overtaking wild garlic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Right down here it is, yeah.
And these are Alexanders. Also a delicious edible.
Yeah, Alexander's edible.
We're going to make our way down this really treacherous path and go and experience some of that incredible clarity. I'm excited, I don't know about you. I can't wait to get in the water.
I'm over at moon, mate, I'm over at moon.
I do really love this time of year. Just when all the flowers are coming out fresh. I mean, this is stunning. This is right next to the car park. And we've just got along one of these old Cornish hedges. These are called sea pinks or sea thrift. We've got, looks like kidney vetch. Again, more of the three-cornered leek, more of the allium. The occasional red campion. And even the odd spattering of bluebells. Now, bluebells, I was having this conversation with my daughter the other day. There's two main types you're getting in the UK. A lot of them is like the invasive Spanish type, and people don't even realise. If they look like this, I mean, these here, you would just see them and you would think bluebells straight away. But look at how thick the stem is. If they're really robust, if they've got a really thick stem and really big flowers, and if they're stuck straight up like this, then they're the Spanish variant. The English ones are really delicate and they'll go up and hoop over. So yeah, I just love it. This time of day as well, definitely the best time of day to be out. I'll put the camera away now because I think we're going to need both hands to do this. But
We're going to need to hold hands, you mean? Oh. Sorry, come on, down we go.
yeah,
First
there we go. If it was easy, everyone would do it. That's lovely over there. All the whites that you can see on the side of the cliff there, we're just talking about, they're all sea campions. So you've got sea campions, sea thrift, sea pinks, bird's foot trefoil, and the occasional violet.
The wood violet, they're edible.
Right, let's go.
Get in.
Enough talking. Right, well, I've just watching Paul coming down there, and then I think this is maybe where the term northern monkey comes from. Watching him. The agility. Yeah. Here's a lovely spot, but not for the faint-hearted to get down here, I don't reckon. These are the sea campions I was talking about. And those there, sea carrot. See Paul pulling faces behind me.
Yeah, it's been good to have got a caught.
Touchdown. We're just talking there, we just said, oh, what is it we've forgotten? Don't fancy going back up.
Hey, it's going to be hard going up there with a bag full of fish.
Forage. I was explaining to Paul the other day, I mean, the clarity down here compared to back up in the northeast where we're from, it's unbelievable. And the reason being is because of the geology, because of the topography, because of the actual ground, the rock. I mean, down here it's predominantly it's heavy granite, so even when it's been stirred up by the sea, because it's heavy particles, they just drop straight out again. So a couple of days after a bit of bad weather, you've still got good clarity. Whereas like back up in like areas around Bridden, that where it's all just clay,
Bisto, innit?
it's all clay and silt. You get a stir up there and it can last a month.
Yeah. So how far tide won't come? Oh, is that tide line there where granite?
Yeah, we've got decent sized spring tides. Yeah. Now there is a larger tide movement in the north coast. There's people who are watching from in other places of the world, you might find this a bit unbelievable. There was a 6 metre tide movement today. So between high water and low water, there's 6 metres of movement. Now, like the videos that I've just done in Florida, there was about 2 feet of movement from high to low. So yeah, we are like 2.5 hours before low water. One of the things that I love about like hidden away spots like this is probably only a handful of people have ever been down here or seen the things like this. Another reason why I much prefer getting out early in the morning before like I mean you must feel it as well when you get out in woods before the madness of the world wakes up.
Yeah,
you get the best time of the day. Look at the clarity down here. Tell you what, there's no better place. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's just absolutely stunning, isn't it? See about getting changed. There we are, we're all suited and booted.
What? Yep.
Yeah. We've been talking about this. Do any of you at school, you know, like when you forgot your pea kit and they made you go through the lost and found to put something together to wear? It's kind of like what's going on here.
That's what's going on.
It is a lovely day. We've got fantastic clarity. I would say okay company. Yeah, let's go and get wet.
Oh no, guess what?
This isn't me laughing because it's a tragedy. You know when we got down to the bottom of the cliff and we said, oh yeah, I hope we haven't forgotten out because I don't want to go up there.
What's the heaviest and worst thing you can forget?
It's got to go all the way right up, back up the top of there. Go and get his weight belt.
Wounded.
So we'll do a before and after.
Alright, yeah, look at all fresh face in that. Cut.
come back ashore to check on Paul. We're already suited and booted. And here is this monster. Tell you what, he is. Get some idea of the size of them claws, don't you? He's yeah, he's a king of the reef, this guy. He's undefeated. He's probably never lost a battle in his life to another lobster. That's why his claws are still so big.
Undefeated until now?
Undefeated until I got here. He's a fantastic specimen. That claw alone.
It's crazy that you're going to let me attach that to your bingo wing in retribution.
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Look at those colours on it, man.
Ah, he's a big one. Get my cell all changed up and get him shot back. He's too big to keep. I was just explaining to Paul there, he's probably 40 years old. Too important for the breeding stock.
Aye. I'm out of the water now, as you can see.
Anybody who spends a bit of time in nature, you get to know what certain sounds are. There's a pair of seagulls over there making baby seagulls. You can tell by the sound. Yeah, a lovely dive. I just can't get over the clarity. I mean, look at it down there. It is just, it's like somewhere abroad. Yeah, I didn't see as many spider crabs as I was expecting today. I thought there was going to be absolutely stacks, and I only found maybe a dozen. None of them really big enough to keep. And got another lovely lobster who's cutting about in a rock pool down there. And Paul is he's determined. I think from that second trip up the cliff to go and get his weight belt, he's determined to go and get some. Paul's out of the water now. We've decided, because it's such a stunning day, that he's a tiger. Oh, I nearly caught him then. Waving around it, back round as he slips over. Yeah, we're going to go and try another mark. So we're going to have to get move on. See you in a bit. It's alright, you take a breather. Just as a really quick side piece, right at the start of this video I pointed out some bluebells that were Spanish bluebells, and I said the difference between them and the British bluebells being that Spanish ones were really robust and the British ones are really delicate. British bluebells. My personal opinion, the better ones. Right, take two. You'll notice Paul has his weight belt.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Let's go and get wet. Yeah, that's it. Sort your hair out.
It's not check.
Sort your lines, mate, out. Something tells me, possibly, that Paul's mask was quite tight.
Felt it, mate. It's digging in.
Yeah, we've got a cracking spider crab under there. Yeah, loads of spider crabs, weren't there? Far more in this spot than the previous spot.
Oh yeah, loads of keepers as well.
Yeah, I noticed though that obviously we had the low tide on the other mark. We had a full run of tide here, it affected the clarity quite a bit. So you'll probably see in the footage that it wasn't as clear in this second spot as it was in the first one.
Yeah, not very fishy. And like John was saying, they were just on the edge of your vision.
I might have been able to show one or two of them in a video if I can do, but it was just at the edge of what you could see. You could just see like shadows in murk. We'll get sorted and we'll see you by the fire hopefully. We're just about to start a fire to cook up that crab and that lobster, and I've just had a look up here and we have some of the allium, the three-cornered leek. This is sea beet. Sea beet is a great substitute for spinach, and this, I'm going to pick a few of these and I'm going to put it inside with the lobster when I cook it because it's got a mild garlic taste. When collecting anything like this, don't take all of one plant, just take a little bit from a few places. That way the plant can still survive and thrive and be able to harvest another time. So little bits from different plants, not everything from one. We've got all sorts here on this little patch. We've got some of the kidney vetch. There is, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a spider in the centre of that daisy. Some of the sea pinks, sea campions. There you go. Some more lovely sea pinks there, and this is your rock samphire. I'll take a couple of little sprigs of this. You don't need much of this because it tastes really strong. Some more of the sea beet up there as well. Right, we've got all set up now. We've just got a little bit of a fire going. All that is there is it's just little tiny offcuts, pieces of timber from projects that me and James have had in the fish locker workshop. And we're just letting them burn down to a bed of coals. We're just going to build up a nice bed of coals to cook the spider crab and the lobster from earlier. Now I have collected a few little bits of greenery. I've collected a little bit of rock samphire, some allium and some sea beet. So that's a proper Blue Peter moment. Now these alliums, usually what I advise is I say whenever you're collecting any forage, anything like that, you only take a little bit from each plant. You don't take all of a single plant. But the allium, the three-cornered leek, that is an invasive species, so they try and encourage people to pull that up. And all I would use these for is I'm going to chop them up finely and then sprinkle them on top as I wrap them in tin foil. These are going to be butchered down, wrapped in tin foil and cooked on the coals. Yeah. Nothing more to it, let's get going. Most of the meat that you'll find inside one of these is inside these hoofing claws, in all the legs, and inside the knuckles inside of there. Now this is a male, you can tell it's a male just because of the sheer size of its claws. Also because this in here is like a narrow, looking like a male appendage. The easiest way to dispatch these guys is just simply lift up this apron, put the knife in. So lift up, that's it. There,
he's no longer of this earth.
Well just look, he's just all floppy now.
I know how he feels.
He's out.
He's gone.
Now all I'm going to do now is just separate the back of the apron. And then peel the whole back off. Right.
Yummy.
These bits on the sides here, called dead man's fingers, these are the gills. We'll take those off. Those are the gonads, more of the guts. Now, some cultures, some folks like to eat the internal organs. I'll never advise to eat the internal organs because any harmful bacteria or chemicals or anything that this crab has ingested in its life have been scientifically proven to be concentrated in its internal organs. They eat dead, rotting matter. That's all going to be in there as well. I'll wash all that out. So we'll take these off, we'll wash that out, and then we'll come back to it. Right, you can see there, all I've done is I've just washed out all the insides. There's none of the guts left. And that was there where I went in with a knife to kill it. And all you need to do with that is it's got natural seam in it. Just break it to two pieces. That's it, completely butchered off. It's a bit of a contentious subject about dispatching lobsters, because some people will say that if you just stab straight into the top of the head. Lobster's biology, lobster's nervous system isn't like, well, you consider like a mammalian one, being that there's one single point where you can cut it off, like with us, the spinal cord. They've got 12 ganglia. Consider their nervous system like a web, like a net over their whole body. So unless you're going to cleave it completely in half, like what I'm going to do now, there's no real way to put it out straight off. I will warn you that if you're a little bit squeamish, this might be a little bit graphic for you. Lay it down onto something hard, and you're going to go straight in the centre, work forward, and then work back. So, cleave completely in half. Looking at it now, the same as with the spider crab. These are all the internal organs. This is its intestine line that runs all the way down its back. So you'll want to scoop this out, because that's basically its poop line. We'll scoop that out. I'll scoop out all of this that's inside the head for the same reason as the spider crab. Once I've cleaned it up, then we're ready to get them wrapped in tin foil. There you can see, cleaned them both out. None of the internal organs in there. As much as I can out of those. So that lobster and that spider crab have been fully butchered off. What you are going to have to do though, is I am going to have to give the claws a knock with a rock just to break the shell. Because I'm going to wrap them up with a little bit of butter and a little bit of garlic and rock samphire. If you don't, none of the flavours are going to get into the shell. So I'll give those a knock with a rock, and then we'll get them wrapped up. All I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of butter in there with them. You can put anything you want. You could put some chilli, some garlic, whatever flavours you want. I'm going to try one with a little bit of rock samphire and some 3-cornered leek.
Perfect. Citrusy and oniony, garlicky.
And all that'll do when you wrap it up is it'll all steam with whatever juices it's got in there.
I mean, your wrapping skills.
I was just going to say, can you tell that I'll wrap all our Christmas presents? All you need to do is you just need to remember which way is up.
Aye.
And I like to leave a little tiny bit to pick them up with. Because otherwise, if I was smart enough, I would have probably brought some gloves with me. But considering that I aren't...
Well, you know, you're good in other ways, aren't you?
I like to think so.
Still trying to fathom that out, but... Right, there's one. That's how we're doing lobsters. Let's have a go on spider crab.
Exactly the same way. You've just got that biggest claw. You've generally just got to snap it off and put it back into it. Otherwise, the parcel's just like a foot and a half left. Just exactly like I've done with the lobster. All I've done is I've cracked the shell, bit of butter, a little bit of rock samphire, some sea bait, and I'll wrap it up with tin foil, and we're going to get it on them coals. You can hear them now. I think they're ready to come off. We didn't have enough coals to cook them both at the same time, so we just elected to do the crab and then the lobster. The lobster's not going to take as long as the crab either. But come and have a look at this here.
This is the money shot. Oh, look at steam coming off it. Smells delicious.
And this just been steamed. So what I'm going to do, I'll wrap that back up and open them all up at once. Oh, it smells amazing. There we go. Smell coming off these is fantastic.
Regardez.
That sea bait's steamed beautifully. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off it, but wow. Amazing. Yeah.
Let me get one in there.
Happy with that.
What are you going in with? Look at that.
It's just red hot.
I'm keen to have a bit of this.
just need some. I've used all the butter. I should have brought twice as much butter.
Do you go over the top after?
Just a little bit top.
Look at that. Cheers, mate. Nice. Ah. Mmm. Do you eat greens or just ginger flavour? No, you don't like greens, yeah. Yeah.
Not enough to make that my entire diet. I like my meat so much. I like my meat and my fish. I think my favourite is green beans or broccoli. Or petty class beans. Sugar snaps are alright, but I prefer.
You play right?
Well, Jim does. And his dad. Got a lot of stuff growing in the allotment. But I guess that, yeah, if you're living inland and you don't understand it, like about the tides.
Panic, don't they? Look at that!
Absolutely delicious. Right, we finished all the crab and the lobster. That was absolutely delicious. I'm near enough licking my fingers. It was Paul's first try of spider crab.
Delicious, mate. Delicious.
What are you saying? Fiddly but delicious.
Fiddly but delicious. I don't know why I said that was like me, but
Paul. We've yeah, just got all the empty shells left in here. I'm going to take them all down to a rock pool down there. You can see it was really thick shell on that spider crab. Take all the empty shells down to a rock pool over there so the crabs and the blins can have a pick through. An amazing dive in 2 different locations. I hope the footage has shown up alright. I hope you enjoyed joining us, Paul and I. I'll put a link to Paul's channel in the description of this video. All the very best, and we will see you later.
See you later.